Hello everyone. As we have finished the lesson number 5, lesson number 11, and that is human eye and colorful world. Now we will begin with the lesson number 1, that is chemical reactions and equations. So this is the first lesson of a chemistry, and it is one of the most important lesson because the chemistry is the base of science mainly, and if you do not understand these concepts now, you will have very much difficulties in your higher classes, because in class 11, 12, in higher classes, chemistry is one of the main subject, and without chemistry, like biology also, you will not be able to understand biochemistry and other parts are there. So don't skip the video and watch it fully. So this is one of the example here. So magnesium is a metal, as you know, we have learned about this in class in chapter 5. Magnesium is a metal, and in the form of a ribbon it can be found in the market. So in the market, in the form of ribbon, the magnesium metal is found. So if we burn this magnesium metal or the magnesium ribbon in presence of air, it changes into this. So this is the magnesium oxide. When it is burned in presence of oxygen, when this magnesium metal is burned in presence of oxygen, I will add a video here. You just watch the video how it is burned. When it is burnt, it changes into this. This is the thing here. So this is like a white powder. So if you touch it, it will be a powdered form. So it is the magnesium oxide. So what happens when we burn something? It changes, or when we burn this magnesium mainly, it changes to another form. So that form is powdered form. So this is a change. So this is a chemical change. In lower classes we learnt about the changes, chemical changes, physical changes. So it's a chemical change because the substance which we have obtained cannot be reversed back to the previous form. So as we know that the substance which is changed, and if it is cannot be brought back to the previous form, then it is a chemical change. So here a chemical change has taken place. The magnesium ribbon after burning has changed into this form. So here you can see this is the wood, and if we burn the wood, what happens? It changes to this ashes. So the change in the form of this wood has changed. The form of this wood is previously like this, and when we burn it, it changes to this. So it's also a chemical change because the substance has changed to another one. These ashes cannot be reversed back to the previous form in the wood form. So this is here what happens, a chemical reaction has taken place. So if in a chemical change, a reaction is always there. Without the chemical reaction, chemical change does not take place. So chemical change itself means a chemical reaction has taken place and the substance has changed. Here you can see this is iron or iron rod. We know that when we buy it from the market or when it is obtained from the industry, it is in this form, shiny, it's very new. But when it is left in open place, what happens? After a few days we can see the color of the substance has changed. So why the color of the substance has changed? Because the iron has reacted with the atmosphere, or the substances present in the atmosphere like water vapor, oxygen. With that one, the iron reacts and the color of the substance changes. So it's also a chemical reaction where the substance changes or the color of the substance changes. So another reaction or another type of chemical change is evolution of gas. So if we take some water, and in that one if you put some calcium oxide, and the calcium oxide is this our lime. So if you put some lime into that, what will happen? You can see some bubbles are coming out. Means what? Some evolution of gas is taking place. From the water some gases are coming out. So this is also a chemical change, or here some chemical reaction has taken place, and because of that the bubbles are coming out or the gas is evolving from the solution. So it's also a chemical change, and here the chemical reaction has taken place. That's why there is a change in the there is some change that can be observed in the form of gas. Similarly, if you take some water and if you measure the temperature of the water, if it is 10 degrees Celsius, the temperature of the water is 10 degree, and if you put some lime, or that is calcium oxide, after few minutes you can observe that there is a rise in the temperature. Now it may be 30 degree or 40 degree or 20 degree. There will be there will be a change in the temperature. We do not know exactly how much the change will be, but there will be a change in the temperature because the solution is getting heat and the temperature is changing. So change in temperature. So from above all these activities, we can conclude that if there is some change in the color, if there is a change in the temperature, if there is a change in the form, or if there is any change in, or if you observe any kind of evolution of gas, means in these all cases what happens, some form of chemical reactions has taken place. So this is allowed reaction, means if a substance changes, or if the temperature of the substance changes, or if the color of the substance changes, we can observe, we can conclude that there has some chemical reaction has taken place, and because of that only this thing has changed. Okay, so now we will move to the chemical equations. So we know that the chemical reaction means something is changing, some substance is reacting with some other substance, and some other form or some other substances are formed. So here if we write the chemical equations, it will be like when a magnesium ribbon is burned in presence of oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. We have seen the magnesium ribbon, when it is burned in presence of oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. So if you write it in this form, this is the chemical equation, but it's too long, it will take much time, and it is very complex or very complicated one. So when we can write this one also, when calcium oxide, or that is lime, is added to water, it reacts with water and calcium hydroxide is formed. So it's very long and very complicated line we have to write, and it will take much time. So chemical equations are written in another form. So this is how we write in language form, but it's not the ideal one. It takes time, and it is very complicated. So we have some form like this. So magnesium plus oxygen. So the whole line can be written in two words, magnesium plus oxygen, which gives us, or it reacts, both of them react. With this arrow we can define it, and magnesium oxide is formed. So magnesium plus oxygen gives us magnesium oxide. So one important thing, two different terms we have to learn here. One is reactant, another one is product. So we have the arrow, and the things which reacts is known as reactant. Or if two or more substances may be there, and they are known as reactants. Magnesium and oxygen, they are reacting to form magnesium oxide, which is formed is known as product. So after reaction, the substance which is formed is known as product, and the substance which is reacting is known as reactant. So here you can say calcium oxide in water, these two are reactants, and calcium hydroxide, which is formed after the reaction, is known as product. So like this also we can write, and the ideal form of, to write a chemical equation is like this. Here you can see magnesium, the symbol of this magnesium will be written. We know the symbols of all the metals and non-metals we have learned in chapter 5. So magnesium is Mg and oxygen is O2. Why it is O2? In class 9 we have learned that the gases are present in diatomic form, O2 and N2H2 like this. So magnesium plus oxygen, these two are the reactants because they are reacting to form magnesium oxide, which is the product. So magnesium oxide is written MgO. How why we write MgO and why it is not MgO2, and so about this one I will make a separate video. In class 9 we have learned. For revisionary purpose I will make another small video on that one. And this calcium oxide plus water is H2O. So these two are the reactants, and when they react, the calcium hydroxide is formed. So this is the formula of calcium hydroxide. It is the product here. So there are two reactants when react and form some things, and the product which is formed is known as our product. So the substance which is present on the left hand side of the arrow are reactants, and the substance which is formed or which is present on the right hand side of the arrow is our product. So like this we write the chemical equation. So about balancing and all we'll learn in the next video. Here we have just given you the simple idea of chemical reactions and chemical equation, how it is written. So like this we write the magnesium plus oxygen. It may be any substance, magnesium plus oxygen and magnesium oxide. Like this we write the chemical equations. So I hope you have understood well up to this much. If you have any kind of confusion in these topics, you can ask me, and thank you for watching the video.